Welcome to the Shootin' Show. Stand by for shots fired.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again to this week's Shootin' Show. I'm Johnny Rowland, your host, and we're very fortunate and privileged to be standing here with none other than Kay Clark-Michalik. And as a lot of you know, Kay is the current world champion in the ladies division of the IPSC, the International Shooting Discipline. So, Kay, we appreciate very much you being with us. And you know, friends, I'm a little taller than Kay. But I tell you what, if you saw our shooting abilities on a graph, I'd be about this tall here, and she'd be about this tall here. So Kay's going to do some shooting for us today, and I think a lot of you ladies, and in fact, I think everyone will really enjoy seeing her shoot. So let's get underway. Kay, you're going to start another shooting show for us.
Sounds good.
Now, Kay, I know that you are the world champion in the ladies division. Now, where'd you have to go and shoot that match?
Bisley, England.
Now, Bisley, England, wasn't that a great old-time target match? Or,
No. It was a pretty classic IPSC match, especially, I guess, for Europeans. They do a lot of more physical, maybe a little less shooting and more athletics than we do in the States. But,
well, how's European competition, say, as compared to competition here in the United States?
Well, we've got them beat. We've got all the advantages for now. We can practice and don't have to be rich to do it. Can own a gun without having to have 20 permits and so forth, like I say, for now.
Well, that's true. And of course, over there, they've been under such restrictive legislation for so many years, haven't they?
You really have to be an elite to do it because you have to have the money to do it. So, and of course, we're the technology kings there. They're always a little behind. You know, they read it in the American magazines or see it on American television, and then they're always a little behind. But they're coming on strong now. I'm sounding like they can't shoot. They can, and some of them are very proficient. But right now, as far as the ladies' competition goes, probably I'd say out of the top 5 ladies, probably 4 of them are from the United States, and there's one English lady that's really good.
Well, this is the point I want to make. Friends, those of you that may not know about the USPSA or IPSC shooting in general, yes, the ladies can be pretty darn competitive. In fact, in a few more years, of course, Kay can shoot in anybody's class. And I want to remind you, she's married to a young man who's the fastest revolver shooter in the world, Jerry Michalik. And we've been talking to him about doing some more things. Of course, you see Jerry in the opening and closing of our program every weekend. And in fact, that's Kay and Jerry standing there at an earlier time when we did some tape on them. And in fact, does it help being married to 2 great shooters being married? Do you practice together? You
Sure.
could never argue, but you could never let an argument get out of hand because both of you are too good.
Well, I suppose. Yeah, it helps a lot, though. At the moment, I'm always chasing him, but you know, strive to improve so I can stay with him.
Well, I tell you what, I'm sure it helps, certainly because both of you support each other, both of you have a similar interest in shooting and reloading and for that matter in going to matches. So tell you what, we're going to take a closer look at Kay's equipment and realize that Kay, of course, is from Clark Custom Guns here in Keithville, Louisiana, one of the premier custom gun shops not only in the country but in the world, because you folks get guns from everywhere, all countries everywhere, to rework. And you remember a feature we had a while back on our show when they took our Norinco 45, which we didn't know how that gun was going to work out. And of course it will shoot with anybody else's 1911 45 after they got through working on it, certainly.
Today I'm shooting Clark Custom Recoil Master, built on a Caspian wide body frame. The Caspian wide body holds 20 rounds, so definitely gives you an advantage over the standard 1911. This one has a Tasco Pro Point on it. This particular one is a PDP-4, which is a 40 millimeter rings here. You can see how large it is. It gives you lots of field of view. This is a 38 Super, shooting a load, 130 grain bullet, going roughly 1,350 feet per second. This particular gun is built specifically for IPSC shooting. We have other models built for other competitions, Bianchi or steel shooting. Anyway, if you're interested in one like this or any other competition that you're interested in, we do special make for specific competitions and for any needs that you may have.
Okay, I noticed you're carrying several magazines there. How many magazines would you carry into, say, an IPSC match?
I'd have them full, plus one in the magazine, 5. 19 rounds in each one. You know, I'm walking into it with almost 100 rounds for a 18-shot course, but
well, you never have run out.
You never have too much ammo. I've been caught several times reaching in my back pocket, you know, trying to find that one last round. So I don't do that anymore. I take more than I could ever need.
Okay, we're going to watch you shoot your Clark Custom gun there on some targets in just a moment, and I think people are going to be very, very pleased to see. All right, friends, Kay is going to shoot rapid fire on a single steel target. So I tell you what, it's just amazing the speed she has.
Kind of ragged too.
Well, you know, friends, we are out here, and you'll notice you can't see our ear protection, but certainly both of us, everyone on the range today, is wearing hearing protection, and all of us have safety glasses on of one type or another. It is so important. You will never see us doing any shooting without our basic eye and ear protection. It is so important. Now, Kay is going to show us an exercise that she would use in practicing maybe for a USPSA match. And Kay, first of all, tell us what you're going to do.
Okay, well, the fun thing about IPSC shooting is, to me anyway, there's usually a lot of movement in it, and also it's never the same. Every match you go to is going to be different. It's going to present a little different challenge. For here at the range, of course, every time I'm coming out of my holster every time. A lot of times you go to a match where your gun starts in a briefcase laying on a table or in the nightstand, and you know everything's different, and that makes it fun. It makes it the game part, you know. It's fun to play. But anyway, there's a lot of movement here. I'm just going to shoot a couple of shots on the paper target, hit the 2 round stills, then move to the next box, set up and shoot the 4 pepper poppers.
And of course, this is also a test of ammunition, because those steel pepper poppers are not real easy to knock down. You've got to have enough steam in your load there that will reliably knock them down. So it's not just a target match. It's also a match of speed and accuracy, for that matter, and power, which I think is their motto anyway. Yes. A little plug for the USPSA there. You know, Kay, it's so encouraging. Every time that you're on the program or some of the other ladies are on the show, we always get mail, because there's so many women out there that know that, hey, they can do this too. And so many women have found out that the police are not going to be able to protect them. In fact, many times their husbands or boyfriends or whoever are not going to be around when something terrible might happen. So let me tell you what, you ladies out there, pay attention, because Kay is, of course, a terrific example of what you can accomplish and attain. And of course, she's among, forget whether she's a woman or not, she's among the finest shooters, certainly with a handgun, or a rifle too, for that matter, in the world today. So you can do it. It's not intimidating once you get underway. And all you have to do is go down here and get some instruction and get your gun, and you can get started. It's something you're really going to enjoy. Well, let's watch Kay go through this exercise and see what she does.
Hi, I'm Bob Brown, Vietnam veteran and publisher of Soldier of Fortune magazine, described by some as the most politically incorrect magazine in the United States. Every issue we publish in-depth, provocative articles by our investigative reporters on the efforts of gun-grabbing politicians and the BATF to undermine our Second Amendment rights, and what you can do to stop them. Also on-site coverage of the government's abuse of power has occurred in the Randy Weaver tragedy and the Waco fiasco. No puff, no fluff, in-depth technical reviews of new firearms and ammo. In short, hard-hitting action articles of immediate interest to all real Americans, available from no other mainstream media. You need the other side of the story. That's why I'm offering a 1-year subscription to Soldier of Fortune for only $22. That's over a 50% saving. Also, we're going to throw in a free 67-page bonus coverage of all our Waco material that's appeared in Soldier of Fortune and how it affects you. Call our 1-800 number now.
And friends, you can call our Shootin' Show 800 number. That's 1-800-895-7916. Ask for Department SOF for Soldier of Fortune, and we'll take MasterCard or Visa, check, or money order. So call us at 1-800-895-7916. Department SOF, $22 for a year of Soldier of Fortune plus the Waco supplement. It's a great bargain, friends, for a great magazine.
There. Just a couple of points to ponder here. Anytime in IPSC shooting or any other, of course there is a lot of moving in IPSC, running from box to box. Very important. Always keep your finger out of the trigger guard. On the reload, during the reload, always make sure that trigger is out of the finger. The finger is out of the trigger guard. And of course, during any movement, be aware of your muzzle direction. Never break the 180. Hopefully keep that muzzle pointed downrange at all time, but never break the 180. Don't eat. Big advantage having a lot of bullets.
Okay, we appreciate so much you taking time to come down here with us today, and of course everyone can see that certainly you put in some hours out here, one from the smoothness and your obvious skill in shooting. But want to encourage these ladies to find out about shooting and get them involved, and I'm sure they're going to enjoy it. Don't you agree?
It's the greatest. Get out there and whatever gun you have or whatever gun you can borrow, get started with it. You'll find that you'll enjoy it and work your way up.
Well, it's so important in some of our fun gun days that we'll be having later on this year. We're certainly going to encourage everyone to come out, but especially those women who have guns at home who don't know how they work or don't know whether they even will work. Mm-hmm. And let's get them out on the range and let's let them try and let them see just how the gun functions and what they have to do to maintain it. Because it's so important that we've got to get the women involved. It's been a man's sport too long, and I'm all for men being involved, but we have got to get these ladies out there with us, certainly. Well, Kay, what are some of the things that you have coming up right away?
A full summer of shooting. The Chevy Truck Challenge is about 3 weeks off, which is a 3-gun match. I've shoot several 3-gun matches during the year, including the IPSC Nationals in New York this year. Got the Masters, the Bianchi Cup, several just strictly pistol matches, and I'll about fill up my schedule.
Well, when Kay says a 3-gun match, of course, she's talking about a rifle, a shotgun, and a handgun. And, of course, Kay is an equally accomplished shooter at all 3 types of firearms, for that matter. But we certainly wish you a lot of luck, and the shooting show is, in fact, we need to get you a shooting show patch. Of course, you'll probably want us to pay you. Anyway, no, we're so pleased. The Clarks are such nice people, and, of course, Kay Clark Michalik, and I understand Jerry's pretty good coach. Is that right?
Yeah, he goes a long way toward getting me in the right direction quick.
Well, of course, Jerry Michalik, a tremendous shooter as well as a coach for Kay. And we're just very pleased how well you folks are doing. And we'll be telling you how to get in touch with Clark Custom Guns here in Keith, Louisiana. If you're interested in, say, a custom handgun like Kay is carrying today, or a custom revolver, or their 22 Squirrel Special, some of their Ruger Chevy Truck Team Challenge guns that they make here, and of course are very successful. I tell you what, if you have a Clark gun, you can't blame losing a match on your gun. You're going to have to blame yourself, because their guns are capable of winning any match today in competition. So, Kay, we'll be following your career certainly, and wish you at least as good a year, hopefully a better year this year than last.
I hope so. Thank you.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. friends, if you're interested in a world-class competition semi-automatic pistol or a world-class competition revolver or just a custom version of either one, or you may be interested in a Ruger 1022 that's been modified to shoot half-inch groups at 50 yards. If you're interested in any of those things and a whole lot more, give Clark Custom Guns a call down in Keithville, Louisiana. That phone number is area 318-925-0836. If you'd like one of their catalogs, write to them. Clark Custom Guns, Post Office Box 530, Keithville, Louisiana. That zip code is 71047. Send $2 for a catalog. And, of course, they have all sorts of things in the catalog, and that $2 will be refunded with your first order. So, friends, are some of the nicest people we've met in the industry, and you can help yourself if you want a custom handgun by calling Clark Custom Guns.
Shooter ready? Stand by. Stand by.
Hi there, I'm Dr. Tim Wheeler. I'm an ear, nose, and throat and head and neck surgeon here in Southern California.
And I'm Dr. Bob Bridges, specialist in nuclear medicine and radiology.
Bob and I have had a great time today here at the range. We've had a wonderful time shooting. Right now, though, we'd like to talk to you about some issues concerning gun ownership and doctors.
We'll spend the next few minutes with you talking about a new organization, Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. We'll see you back at the office. Well, we're back from the range, and time to talk now to Tim about Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. Tim, where did it all start and why?
Well, Bob, all gun owners and shooters have known for some time that there's a faction of Americans who don't believe in their rights to gun ownership. But what I, as a physician, have noticed in the last year is something new. In the field of medicine, certain elements of organized medicine have decided that gun violence and guns in general are a public health issue. And these physicians have used the public health issue approach as a political strategy to implement their plan of gun control.
So they're saying that firearms are a medical issue, much like the influenza bug or cancer, and that they should be treated as a medical issue and I guess dealt with medically also.
That's right. One doctor in Chicago who was an anti-gun ownership activist has gone so far as to say that guns are a virus which must be eradicated.
What can we as physicians do to counter this type of anti-gun advocacy?
Well, a couple of months ago, I decided to try to form an organization of doctors, and it now exists, and it's called Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. This organization is intended primarily to counter that exact anti-gun agenda that is being brought forth by these doctors who are promoting the public health issue. I strongly feel that only doctors can credibly come back and counter these statements that are made by other doctors who are posing this as a medical scientific issue.
Now, there have been several articles written in prestigious medical journals in the last few years advocating gun control. Some of these have had rather interesting statistics to go along with them. How do we now, as a group, approach this? What can we do as individuals or as a group to counter this?
Well, first, as physicians, we all have the training to analyze articles like that and to look at them objectively. That's part of our job as doctors, is to keep up with the medical literature. It is important for us to communicate to those journals, and we have done this already, some of the errors and biases that are inherent in these organizations and authors who come out with these articles. We know, for example, that some of the authors of articles that have appeared in major medical journals are anti-gun activists, and they have actually come out with a political statement saying that they do not believe in gun ownership. They're against it.
But their articles have been almost result-oriented, that they want to prove an issue, and it's basically published that way, not going in as a neutral observer to find one way or the other, but to arrive at their chosen point of end to the story.
That's right, and you have to remember that as citizens, those doctors are entirely entitled to have that opinion, and I want to emphasize that. The crucial difference here is that these doctors are holding themselves out as scientists, using scientific methods, and coming to these essentially politically motivated conclusions. And that is wrong. Scientists are not supposed to do that. It's our job in Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership to point that out.
Now, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and our freedoms should not be the domain of a medical turf grab. And I believe that when medicine enters into these public health issues, that personal liberties are placed at grave jeopardy.
That's right, and we feel strongly that we have to counter this latest campaign from organized medicine, certain elements of organized medicine. We've decided on a threefold strategy for working on this, Bob. First, we doctors in Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership are going to work in the media. This could include something as simple as writing letters to the editor of the local newspaper. It could also involve appearing for television interviews or radio interviews. The second thing that we're going to do is working within organized medicine. The organizations that many of us already belong to, the American Medical Association, our state medical societies, specialty medical societies. Some of these groups, these societies, have already taken anti-gun ownership positions without even consulting the rank and file membership. We need to point out that there are many physicians who are responsible and legitimate gun owners who are in these groups. The third method that we have is to engage in direct lobbying of legislators. And by this I mean making appointments with our assemblymen, our state senators, our U.S. congressmen, and talking to them about the issues, demonstrating to them the proven facts that gun ownership in many cases can be beneficial. That firearm ownership, for example, for self-defense,
Yes.
actually saves lives and prevents injury. We feel that we can be very effective with legislators. Oftentimes we think that we're not listened to, that legislators do not really care what we believe, but I assure you, having done this, that they care very much.
Where can people contact you about the organization?
We would like to have interested physicians contact us at Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership, Post Office Box 1931, Upland, California, 91785-1931. That city is Upland, U-P-L-A-N-D, California, 91785-1931. Our telephone number is 909-949-9971. You can also send us a fax at that same number, area code 909-949-9971.
Now, our freedoms and our liberties are much like good health. When they're lost, they're hard to regain. And it's important to us to be advocates for legitimate gun owners and for the legitimate use of firearms in this country. Thank you, Tim. Dr. Tim Wheeler, who's the head of Doctors for Responsible Gun Ownership. I'm Dr. Bob Bridges. Thank you for listening.
Did you ever try to throw an axe, throw a tomahawk, or throw a knife? Well, now you can with AccuBlade's free video on the art of throwing weapons, free with any axe, tomahawk, or knife order. All AccuBlade products are made by hand in the USA. Please allow 4 to 6 weeks delivery.
Now, friends, you can tell there's really something to this, and yours truly was out there today throwing the knife. And hey, I was kind of proud of this tomahawk here. It genuinely, it really gets in under your skin there. It's really fun to do. And the axe, of course, there, it's most entertaining. I think this would be great outdoor entertainment. Around a hunting camp, I think it'd be fantastic. It's really fun, and I could see how this really gets competitive. Now, friends, supplies are limited. You can specify the axe, the tomahawk, or the knife. Now, one of them is going to cost you $34.95 plus $5 shipping and handling, or $84.95 plus $7 shipping and handling for all three of them. You can send a check or money order to AccuBlade, Box 206, Lockport, Illinois, that's zip code 60441. Or, in fact, if you want to charge it to your Visa or MasterCard, you can call us here at the Shootin' Show 800 number, and that is 1-800-895-7916, Department AccuBlade, and we can put the knife, the tomahawk, or the axe there, or all three of them for that matter, on your Visa or on your MasterCard. Friends, this is something to it, and these are real nice people that make these things, and it's something I think a lot of you would enjoy.
Well, friends, looking around at the weather, hopefully we can get something else done here before the rain moves in on us. It won't be long. Yes, it does do some serious raining here in Louisiana, but hopefully we'll have some pretty days before long. Anyway, today we're going to look at a Harrington & Richardson single-shot shotgun. It's in 12 gauge. Now, these are relatively inexpensive guns, but this design has been around since Moby Dick was a minnow, I think, for a long time anyway. It's a very successful design. You have the brake here beside the hammer, push it down, and the barrel and the action here separate. Of course, it has an automatic ejector. It'll throw the spent case out. This particular gun has a 3-inch chamber, and we actually measured this. The barrel is 27.5 inches long, or just a little bit longer than that. But these are such neat old guns. One, they're very fine hunting guns, squirrel guns, something like that. It does put a little more challenge into the hunt. You'll see some custom touches back here on the back. The stock was, of course, had no recoil pad, and I found one here on the farm that would fit the old gun, but it had some splits, so I just took some electrical tape and wrapped it around there, and hey, it works. You know, it's not fancy, but it works. A lot of times we get caught up in things that are fancy, sometimes that don't work, but there's nothing to be ashamed of. If you have something and it's not fancy, but it still works, well, so what? Who cares? You know, as long as it works. Now, some people who want a shotgun, this might be the only type of shotgun they could afford. And trust me on this one, a single-shot shotgun leaves you a long way from unarmed if that's all you have for home defense. They are very simple. Either they're cocked or they're not. And these guns have a transfer bar type safety. So even if you hit the hammer on this old H&R, this topper model, nothing can happen unless that trigger's pulled, because the transfer bar is not in place. The hammer can't contact the firing pin directly. So that's a very fine safety feature. These guns are very simple. They're light, they handle well, they point well. They're just not going to be fast to reload. Well, we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But let's give another little demonstration here. You know, a lot of people think that if they have a shotgun, all they have to do is point and pull the trigger, and it's going to get everything on that side of the room. It's not so. Shotguns at close range have a small pattern. They have to be aimed to hit with them effectively. Now let's take a look at that right now. We have some bird shot here. Go ahead and insert the shell. Here in protection in. Our target is just a few feet away here. Let's take a look at it. All right, guess what? Our hole in the target, let's take a look at that. In fact, it's just goes to show you just what a tight pattern that a shotgun will shoot up close and personal. All right, again, we'll push our action brake here and watch that empty shell. See, it's thrown out of the gun. Well, let's take a look at our group here.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
friends, you can see this was one 12-gauge shotgun shot at a few feet. Now, that's not very big. I said group earlier. If you can have a one-shot group, you can tell just all the shot went through that little hole there. That's not too big. You see, friends, you could easily miss something running at you. If you had to use it in a defensive situation, you really have to aim these things. Well, let's move out to 10 yards and see what it looks like out there. Well, friends, let's take another shot here with our 12 gauge. We're out at about 30 feet from our target. So let's see how big our pattern is. And this is probably, I don't know what choke this is. I'm going to say it's either full or it's modified choke. Yes, it says so right there on the barrel. Okay, let's take a look at about 30 feet. All right. Now, friends, you can tell the entire pattern of the shotgun at 30 feet. The entire pattern is only a little bigger than 6 inches. Now, that's at 30 feet. And of course, here's the majority went through here. It looks like the shot cup went through here. Well, see, friends, you've got to still aim a shotgun. You can't just point it and pull the trigger, because this was at about 10 yards away, and still, it would still be easy to miss an intended target if you don't aim.
Now, friends, we're very pleased to be working with Paladin Press, and you see on your screen there the front of their catalog, and what you can do. Now, get a pencil, and this is important, and write this down. What you need to do is get one of the Paladin Press catalogs, because they have one of the most wide varieties of books and tapes I think that I've seen anywhere. Now, they have some things that everyone's not going to be interested in, but they really have some spectacular things that so many of us as shooting enthusiasts would really like to have. Again, for your information purposes, for just literally all kinds of stuff, you won't believe this catalog. Trust me on this one. Call them at 1-800-835-2246. Again, 1-800-835-2246, and they'll send you a free catalog and tell them you saw it on the Shootin' Show. Now, friends, you know, every time that our viewers get in touch with our sponsors, it definitely always helps the Shootin' Show, so we need you to do this. I think you'll be so impressed. They have so much stuff. Some of it is, heck, I didn't even know some of that stuff was in print, but it is really entertaining. Heck, if nothing else, the catalog's entertaining, so call them out there. Paladin Press, 1-800-835-2246, and get one of their catalogs. Do it for the Shootin' Show. Friends, we hope you're enjoying today's program. We're certainly enjoying doing it for you. You know, I talk to so many people all around the country, and please forgive me, we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of phone calls every week, and I can't get to everybody. I get to, in fact, just return a few phone calls that we do get. We're trying, you know, we're playing catch up because of our office was down for those 9 days, and we're just about getting there, but we're moving along as fast as we can. We do appreciate every one of you, and I certainly enjoy talking with every one of you out there that I can. It's just that our time is limited, and you certainly understand that. Well, friends, I'm holding our Colt Sporter, and you know, the reason that I hold this gun at some point during most of our programs is because these are the guns that the anti-gun types, the gun grabbers, want so desperately to take away from us. Now, don't be fooled. They want anything that goes bang, anything that shoots, because they know that they can never have their Nazi socialist regime, and for our country, the things that they have in mind, until they get all these guns away from us. Now, you know, it's really odd when rifles or semi-automatic rifles like this are used in less than 1% of all crime involving a gun. Why should we have the big wherefore, or the big disturbance over getting assault type? Of course, this is not an assault rifle, but some of the anti-gun types are calling them that. This type of military a look-alike rifle out of our hands, there's only one reason, friends, because they know that we as citizens can actually resist some kind of federal police. We can actually fight back if we have this type of weapon. Now, nobody wants to see anything like that, but, you know, an example was down in Waco, Texas, when the ATF jumped on David Koresh and his people. They had a bunch of semi-automatic rifles, and, hey, they stood off for 51 days. Now, that's the entire reason these people in Washington, your one world types, the people that literally want to make serfs out of us, they want us to be socialist, and they want to tell us every little move to make with every facet of our lives. They want these guns real bad. And you know what, friends? We're not going to let them have them. There's no possible way. If 12.5 million Americans stand up and say, no, you got to stop this, we want it stopped now, say, no, we're not going to do it. You know, 5% of the general population of any country can do just about what they want to do if they're dedicated. For instance, look at the struggle, what the black Americans have done, the strides they've made with 12.5%, 12 or so percent of the population. Look at that other group of those folks that not sure which way they want to go. They've got 1% of the population. Look what they've been able to do. Look at the strides they've made. Look at some of the top offices in government in the United States. And look at gays in the military now. Things like that, about 1% of the population. All right, we need 5% to do just about anything we want to do. And friends, we can do it. With the Shootin' Show, you know, we're reaching over 1 million people a week now with the Shootin' Show. In 6 months or a year, we can be reaching 10, 15, 20, 30 million people with our message as gun owners. We need your help to do it, friends. We need you to join the Shootin' Show Gun Club today. Do not waste time. Don't wait around. We need you today to join the Shootin' Show Gun Club. $25 annual membership fee, and of course you'll get the Bullet Express catalog. You can buy the things in the catalog for our cost plus 10% plus shipping and handling, and you'll also get a page there showing our aims and our goals, what we have in mind for the Shootin' Show Gun Club, including our fun gun days around the country. We definitely need you. And friends, we have a little news item here you may find of interest. We understand the good folks at Wesson Firearms up in Palmer, Massachusetts are looking for some investors. A spokesperson for the company today told us that they literally have millions of dollars of firearms in back order, and I think they could use a little help. The spokesperson said it would be a wonderful opportunity for a quick profit, and with someone with around $500,000, and we certainly wish them a lot of luck because, you know, we featured their guns on the program many times, and one, they're super accurate, and they're among the finest revolvers ever built by anyone, so we sure do wish them luck. Anyway, well, friends, we have some more things coming up on today's program. Don't you dare go away. We have some information. You know, we like to cover all kinds of things, certainly things that involve us as shooters and gun owners. And we have some things coming up in just a few minutes that you really do need to hear. Some things, I promise you, that some of the information that this organization who's joining us today, it'll curl your eyelashes, make those old goosebumps jump up on the back of your neck, but we have researched them, and their information is always correct. They're such a nice group of people. So we'll get to that in just a minute. So please remember, join the Shootin' Show Gun Club today. We need you. Now back to our program.
All right, friends, just out of curiosity, because a lot of people are curious, let's see how fast we can shoot this single-shot shotgun by loading and shooting 3 times. Let's just get a general idea. Personally, the only way I would go for a single-shot shotgun as defense, if that's all I had, and 2, I would want a handgun to back it up in case I needed those quick 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th shots. So what we're going to do, we're going to run a little experiment here, and I haven't done this before, but let's see what it looks like. Go ahead and load our 1-shooter here, and I'm going to put a couple of hulls between my fingers like so I can load the gun. We're going to try this. Don't know how this is going to work, but we're going to get off 3 aimed shots, and let's see how long it takes. Again, I don't know because I hadn't tried this before, but we'll all find out together. Turn our pro timer on and go ahead and punch the button and get in position. Well, 7.91 seconds. So I was getting, about 2.5 seconds per shot. And I suppose if you practice that, and of course the old single shot from a barricaded position would have certainly some merit and some value. For hunting, you can load and unload pretty quickly, certainly quick enough for most game animals, I would think. But these are very useful guns. They would, for a hunt, They will give you a little more challenge to be sure that your aim is proper and you're making the best use of that one shot you've got. And as you can see, they can be unloaded and loaded, fairly, well, I won't say real rapidly, but they can be. Certainly that would be at a rate of 2.5 seconds per shot at about 25 or so rounds a minute, maybe, somewhere in that category. But certainly nothing to be sneezed at. They are potent. They're so simple. They last for years and years and years. Most of them do. They're easy to repair. And this is one single shot that this information may be useful to you. You know, friends, we get a lot of mail and phone calls about so many people now are concerned about their home protection. Well, what we recommend for certainly inside the home is not going to be the same as outside the home, but for inside home defense, probably a field load, a game load, say is number 8 shot, something like that. Something's not going to have a lot of recoil, but will have plenty of effect up close. This load will not go through multiple walls and appliances to injure someone else in your home, but trust me on this one, that bird shot or game load there, number 8s or so, 7.5, 8s, are going to be plenty effective up close. Observe our water bottle. You can see, friends, on the water bottle here a dramatic amount of destruction, but yet we still have shot suspended in the bottom of the bottle here that did not go all the way through. Some of them did, but some of them stayed here. So what we're looking at, we don't have the penetration of, say, a solid bullet, certainly with the shotgun shell. So definitely, I would suggest for very close distances inside the home, birdshot will work just fine on just about anything you have to do.
You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. Literally thousands of firearms bargains with 3 big issues monthly. Shotgun News, Post Office Box 669, Hastings, Nebraska. That zip code 68902. Their phone number, area 402-463-4589. From MasterCard or Visa for subscriptions only. Now call them at 1-800-345-6923.
A frightening sight, and there's absolutely no reason for ever letting this happen in your home. I'm Grits Gresham. Now listen, if you have firearms in your home, be sure they're unloaded and secured in a safe place. And firearms and ammunition should be kept separate from each other. It's as simple as that, and it's your responsibility. This message is a public service of this station and the National Shooting Sports Foundation.
The Shooting Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Who is Bill Clinton? He promised a tax cut and gave the American people a tax increase. He's piling up more deficits that are speeding America to the brink of bankruptcy. He worked feverishly for the passage of the North American Free Trade Agreement, a major victory for the enemies of national sovereignty who are seeking the New World Order. He and his unelected spouse are determined to replace the world's finest medical care system with a type of government-run socialistic system that has failed everywhere else it has been established. He is moving as fast as he dares to place U.S. military units under the control of the United Nations. He has appointed militant homosexuals to high government posts and is determined to overturn the long-standing ban against homosexuals in the military. He has given the nation a Surgeon General who wants to drum sex education into the minds of children in kindergarten, who also wants to distribute condoms to junior high schoolers, make government-subsidized abortion everyone's right, and legalize drugs. He is leading the campaign to eliminate the right of all Americans to keep and bear arms. He has established a Hitler-like National Service Corps, pushed for the start of federally controlled police, and nominated criminal coddling judges for the federal judiciary. He submits to the demands of the environmental extremists and has presided over the imposition of crippling controls over Western mining, grazing, and foresting interests. In general, Mr. Clinton's every domestic initiative seeks to build the power of government over the American people, and his foreign policy programs are designed to lead the United States into the clutches of a world government under the United Nations. This is Bill Clinton. How did he get to be President of the United States? Whose interests does he really serve? We're going to be talking about the agent of a powerful conspiracy. Bill Clinton has spent his entire adult life working his way into the inner circles of a powerful conspiracy determined to rule the world. He was introduced to its sinister goals while studying at Georgetown University under Professor Carroll Quigley. He then spent 2 years in the training ground of a secret society known as the Rhodes Scholar Program. Later, he joined both the Council on Foreign Relations and the Trilateral Commission. He has also been present among the conspiratorial elite at a European Bilderberg meeting. In short, he has worked tirelessly to place himself at the service of those who are building a totalitarian new world order. The organizations Bill Clinton has joined seek to rule the world and to make every human being their submissive slaves. He has shown that their agenda is his agenda, that their goals for mankind are his goals, that their people are his people, and like them, he regularly plays loose with the truth, masquerades as a patriotic supporter of liberty, betrays his oath of office as if it didn't exist, and works diligently to fasten the chains of totalitarian government around an increasingly less free American people. Mr. Clinton never publicized his highly questionable connections during his campaign for the presidency, preferring instead to portray himself as the hard-working governor of Arkansas. His like-minded friends in the media have always ignored his easily documented ties to the power elite. But his credentials clearly confirm that he is another in a long line of political figures who has prostrated himself before the internationalists who mean to convert this nation and all nations into mere provinces in a totalitarian new world order. Both the organizations Mr. Clinton has joined and their subversive goals for America are generally unknown to the American people. In summary, they mean to convert our nation's limited government and free people into a tyrannical world government and economic slavery for all but themselves. Anyone who affiliates with these groups and agrees with their purposes cannot honorably swear an oath to preserve, protect, and defend the U.S. Constitution. Mr. Clinton's background is similar in many ways to the path to prominence of George Bush, his major opponent in the 1992 election. Earlier in 1992, during the primary season, when Mr. Clinton faced opposition within his own party, any one of his Democratic challenges could have and should have informed prospective voters that choosing Clinton would get them a virtual duplicate of George Bush. After all, Mr. Bush was an early trilateral member, had been a member of the board of directors of the Council on Foreign Relations, and had attended Bilderberg meetings. Clinton and Bush have ties to the same internationalist organizations. But Clinton's Democratic opponents, Paul Tsongas, Tom Harkin, Bob Kerrey, Jerry Brown, and Jesse Jackson, declined to address this remarkable similarity of Mr. Bush and Mr. Clinton during that supposedly heated 1992 primary contest. Voters needed and deserved to have this kind of information about the men who seek the presidency, but the voters never got it. Why? The answer can only be that these Democratic candidates fear the power of these groups and hope that someday they too might be welcomed into the same inner circles that Bill Clinton and George Bush had already entered. As long ago as 1913, President Woodrow Wilson wrote of a hidden power existing in his day. That power still exists today.
Well, friends, I bet we've got your attention now, but let me tell you what. I've known about the John Birch Society for over 15 years now, and tell you the truth, the information I got from them back in the late 70s seemed pretty fantastic at the time, but the problem is everything they said actually came to pass. It came true. Now, this is not a radical organization. They are simply an organization of truth. And you know what? If you want to argue any point that they've made on this short excerpt of this tape tonight, all you have to do is write to them or give them a call, and my friends, tell you what, they're going to document everything they've said. And you know, this comes down, this is a gun control issue in this country. They cannot have a socialist society until every American is disarmed, period. Now, that's what it's all about. If you would like information on this, the name of this tape is Who is Bill Clinton? And it's 29 minutes long. You've only seen about 5 minutes of it, and trust me on this one, it is terrific. You can write to them at the John Birch Society, Post Office Box 8040. That's in Appleton, Wisconsin. The zip code is 54913. Or you can call them. And they have a fabulous publication called The New American. And friends, like I said, it'll curl your hair now reading some of the things that are actually going on around us. And as I said before, they've documented everything they print and everything they say. Their phone number is area 414-749-3783. And that's the best thing to do. Heck, if you want to find out what's going on, just give these folks a call, and they're going to give you information that you probably can't get from any other source. So again, the name of this tape, Who is Bill Clinton? They're available for $12.50 per copy with $2 shipping and handling, and you can write to them and get it. They also have some other tapes. They've got a wealth of literature that a lot of you really would like to see. All right, friends, here's something else that's so important. You know, if you have some other ammunition in your home other than Corbin, or in your vehicle, or in your duty magazines or whatever else, let me tell you what, just relegate that other magazine to just target stuff down on the range when you're ready to get serious about the best ammunition money can buy at any price, period, no joke, no ifs, no ands, no buts. Call Corbin Bullet Company, 1-800-626-7266. Friends, they're head and shoulders above any other manufacturer I'm aware of, and trust me on this one, we shot about everything that'll go bang on this program. Now, if I hadn't made my point earlier, this is the Rolls Royce of ammunition. Now, friends, this is no joke. It's going to help some of you now, because Corbin 1, it tends to be more accurate and certainly has more performance than anything else we're aware of. Corbin Bullet Company, give them a call. Tell them you saw it on the Shootin' Show. That number, 1-800-626-7266. Trust me, Corbin, the best there is. Well, friends, you know, we're always trying to show you something that's neat. And tell you what, we met these fellows at the SHOT Show. They have what's called the Hunt-All Tri-Tote. And you have a piece here. In fact, just let me show you what it does. Real simply, you can obviously see the straps here. Now, here's what this thing does. Just about better than anything, hands-free. Now, that's how it works. It has Velcro that on a little pad here. It's fully adjustable. You have a Velcro strap you can take off. And the beauty part here is, I think about, if you were getting up in, say, a deer stand or carrying whatever, and you needed both hands and you need your rifle that's available quickly, so this Tri-Tote is about the best thing I've ever seen. Now then, let's say you're going back to camp from whatever you've been doing out there, hunting whatever, and it could be a rifle or a shotgun, hey, even a fishing rod, and we'll show you that at another time. But you have a little rubber band, in fact, a super heavy-duty rubber band that goes from the little mounting plate here over to the hook, and then you can put that in place, put the top hook around the barrel of your gun, and then you have a Velcro piece here that will come right off, in fact, and yes, that Velcro does stick. And a simple thing, if you really want to secure your gun, of course, this keeps the muzzle away from you, and this is adjustable, of course, if you want to carry the gun down here or up high. And of course, you can also wear it on your back, and it's completely stable. But if you really want your gun stable, just wrap it around like so, and that Velcro is going to hold it right there, and wrap it in place, and see, it won't come out. I mean, it will not come out. This is so well thought out, such a neat concept, Now the good news is they send a videotape out in the package with your tri-tote, showing you just how it works. It'll also show you several other applications for the tri-tote here. And like I said, these people were so interesting at the SHOT Show, and we wondered, well, how this thing work? Well, friends, trust me, it is really neat. And so your gun is completely secured. It's not going to go anywhere. You're not going to drop it. Very well thought out, extremely well made, very high quality parts here. You know, friends, one of the beauty parts about this is of course, you have both hands free when you're going through brush and things like that. But also, I'll take the security loop off down there, and let me take the Velcro here off the front of the barrel to loosen that. Of course, you won't lose your Velcro because all you have to do is just stick it back to the Velcro. But, you know, this is something, I've been walking through the woods, and you see a game animal, got your rifle on a sling, and there runs the deer while you're trying to get the rifle unslung from your back. Well, with this tri-tote, you can walk along. Of course, it's sitting here. It's very safe, very secure. All you have to do is just pull the muzzle a little bit back towards you, and, hey, you got the gun out, just like that. It's really quick, and it is safe. And as we've talked about before, this is one of those things that you can use to really help your fatigue factor at the end of a hunt, because it puts the weight of the gun on your shoulders and on your hips and out of the small bones and muscles that you have in your hands and certainly in your joints. So it puts the weight back here where we're really designed to carry things. And if you need it, remember, just pull it forward and out, and you got the gun immediately ready. Now, friends, honestly, if this thing is secured in the tri-tote here with your loop around the hook there on the bottom, and you have this tied at the top here with Velcro, I believe you could actually run with the gun. And this might be a good idea for some security forces and military types, because your gun is completely secure and it's safe. And why don't you give them a call? 1-800-231-1443. Again, 1-800-231-1443, $39.95 plus $6 shipping, $6.25 shipping and handling. And let them hear from you, and please tell them you saw it on the Shootin' Show. Friends, we've run out of time for today's program. Again, the hour just goes too quickly. Thanks so much to every one of you. Kurt and I do appreciate every one of you watching our program. And remember, if you contact our sponsors, and without our sponsors, we could not and cannot be on the air. We need all the support we can get. Let them know that you saw it on the Shootin' Show. Thanks so much for being with us, and we'll look forward to next time. We'll see you on another Shootin' Show.